XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Emotion. I feel it. It's oozing. A lot of anxiety on the eve of the Jaguars' first preseason game. We'll know in 25 hours. That is when toe will meet leather. And whose toe is it going to be? Is it going to be a surprise? Are they going to take someone out of the crowd? Is it going to be a safety? Is it going to be a defensive back? Probably nothing crazy with the new kick rule tomorrow night during preseason game number 1. You don't want to give away all your tricks, but I still think that's going to be really intriguing to see how this works on a week-to-week basis. And to me, the most complex part of this is your coverage. And do you leave guys back almost like free safeties? Because if you break that wall, I mean, you're going the entire way for a touchdown. So, hey, it's the NFL as we know it and love it. It's gimmick-filled. That is the NFL in 2024. Will it start tomorrow night? Probably not. Again, I don't think so. I didn't watch any of last night's laughers, the 2 games that were played. Preseason-wise, there's a couple of games as well tonight and as well tomorrow. And for the Jaguars, 2 consecutive Saturday night games and then a Friday night trip to Atlanta. Next week is incredibly important as well. Really taking advantage of Tampa coming into town. They'll get the opportunity to practice both Wednesday and Thursday over at the Miller Electric Center. So it's great to have you with us. Hopefully, I never checked the weather. Okay, so I don't know if it's raining or what the situation is going to be, but I'll tell you, it is hot. Hydrate and get yourself to this matchup early. It doesn't matter if you have 40,000 there, 60,000 there, 72,000 there. No matter what the situation is, it's a difficult process getting downtown for a game. It is. And, I don't know who handles directions. Whoever it is, you're doing it wrong. And you've always done it wrong. The best part of it is when you take the Main Street Bridge and they let some little sailboat go by that has like 2, 80-year-olds in there and a young, captain wet behind the ears, and they got to lift the Main Street Bridge. So thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands wait so that threesome can make their way down the St. Charles. I almost said the St. Charles. That's where I'm from. They don't have a drawbridge in the St. Charles. There's plenty of dead bodies at the bottom of it. But here they do. So if you're going that way, beware. They may drop the bridge on you. If you're going the other way, it is. It's just problematic. It's not anyone's fault now. It's our ridiculous founding fathers who screwed this thing up from day one. So even though you're thinking it's a preseason game, there won't be as many people there. I can leave the house at 5:36. No way. And in this game, you want to see the starters. You better be in your seats by 7 o'clock. I remember last year, there were thousands and thousands. I went out back and looked, and you missed the initial kick. If that's the case, you're not going to see live Trevor Lawrence in this first-team offense. You're not going to see live Ryan Nielsen and this first overall defense. You got to get there earlier, and you got to make your way in. Remember, security is beefed up. As it should be. Getting into the stadium is no longer an easy process, not only here, and that's everywhere. Doesn't matter where the situation is, college or pro, whether you're going to a concert, that's just the way it is. And frankly, that's the way it should be. Okay? And I just want to let you know, because we don't know how long starters are going to play. I'd love to sit here and tell you I think the offense is going to go a quarter and a half. I don't know that. It could be 2 series. Now, if it's a 3 and out and a turnover, I would think, are you going to get a 3rd series or a 4th series? What if they come out and have some success? What if they put together an 8-play, 45-yard drive and it sets up for a field goal opportunity? Is that considered successful on a night in which I would expect things to be really vanilla? And with that said, I can tell you right now, this game is going to set up for a lot of criticism offensively. Not necessarily defensively, but offensively. And I can already feel it, okay? I can already anticipate what it's going to be like on Monday. If this team comes out and it's 3 and out, if this team comes out and they can't move the football, the instant reaction by Jaguar fans will be, Press Taylor's calling plays. You got to be kidding me. Did you see how bad this offense is? Understand that they're not going to show a lot tomorrow night. Again, they're going to keep it close to the vest. And with 2 offensive linemen starters who are out, that's been really the talking point all week long. Do you really want Trevor Lawrence to settle back in the pocket and read progressions? And if his primary target is covered, do you want Trevor surveying the defense? Do you want him looking at his second and his third? You may. And that's fine if you do. You may say, Ballou, it's football. Take the dress off, take the bubble off. It's football. He's got to get ready. There's a game coming up. And if guys can't go, guys can't go. But you need to get him ready. Having him throw the football to only his primary target and getting rid of it quicker so he doesn't get touched isn't really football. You may feel that way. And certainly your opinion is warranted. I'm looking at it a little bit differently tomorrow night. I don't want him getting hit by Kansas City. So I'm going to diagram them running the ball, some high percentage short passes. We saw a practice just the other day where the deep ball was being put into work by Trevor Lawrence to the rookie Brian Thomas Jr. I'd be really surprised if we get a lot of plays like that. Can you set up one? Yeah, absolutely you can. Take a shot. But how far downfield does he get? Again, how much time do you want Trevor Lawrence to sit in the pocket? So I've always said this. It is a smart Jaguar fan base. But I think the agenda is real. And even with smart people, when an agenda comes into play, it really taints your perspective. So I'm thinking that that's going to be a big deal coming in here on Monday, unless they just light it up. And there's a chance that happens. What if this offense is just a well-oiled machine and they go out there and they run it and they spin it and, they're moving the football up and down the field and they get out of there with points and everyone's happy. I think anything outside of that, this really does set up for some people who are going to get after Press Taylor. And again, I just want you to consider what I said. It's really not fair under those set of circumstances. And the last thing that I am is a Press Taylor apologist. I'm not. I've made it crystal clear. I think Doug Peterson should be calling the plays. All right? Press Taylor is coming down from the box. He's going to call it on the side. And he's going to do so right there on the sideline. As I've said many times before, this is a healthy conversation. Where would you rather have your offensive coordinator? Would you rather have him up in the booth where he can see everything? He can see the entire field. I said this yesterday, and I spent 8 years as the Jaguars sideline reporter. There are a lot of blind spots when you're on the field. And everyone wants to be close to the field. Everyone wants to be on the field. And trust me, it's spectacular. It really is. But there's a lot of things you miss. There's a lot of things you can't see. So if you're calling plays, do you want to be up above where you can see the entire field, you can see 11 on 11, or do you want to be down there so after the possession, you can immediately run over and sit down next to the quarterback and talk to him and look at the replays on the technology that they have down there. Yes, as always, the way it's worked is Trevor gets on the phone and he talks to press upstairs. I don't think it's the same as having that right next to you in person feel. I don't know, but it's really interesting. And it's, Dave Campo, a former coach, loves to be upstairs. Talked to him many times about that as a defensive-minded guy. You can absolutely see much more up there. Being on the field gives you that one-on-one relationship, which is also very important, in my opinion. All right, so we got a lot to do tonight. Want to get to what to look for tomorrow. And I really think this is an important game. In a sense that the way last year ended, you lost 5 of 6. You were actually the number 1 seed at one point. And you lost 5 of 6. But not only did you lose 5 of 6, you were outmanned. Okay? You got beaten in a way that grown-ass men should not get beaten. Cowardly, yellow, slop. Those are words that I would use to describe the play in the ditch last year. The offensive line sucked. The defensive line gave up 44 and a half more yards those last 6 games. And I know that you can cook books. And teams had leads, so they're going to run it more. And when you run it more, you're going to have more rushing yards, right? Anyone can figure that part out. But we saw how the season ended. And for many of you, the last 2 years have ended with Christian Kirk dropping a football against Kansas City and Calvin Ridley not being able to come down with the ball against Tennessee. And that's fine. I'm not running away from those 2 examples. They were huge. But to me, it was getting beat up at the line of scrimmage. Goal line, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. And just getting punched in the mouth by Tennessee. So I think this is an opportunity to show that this team has a little bit of grit, has a little bit of fight. They should be embarrassed by that performance late in the season. And they are so incredibly professional. They have the ability to turn the page. They have the ability to turn it on and turn it off just like a light switch. You as the Jaguar fan, yeah, you'll let it go. You'll let it go the day you fall into that wooden box. You'll forget about Miles Jack wasn't down the day you take your last breath. Fans carry it over. I think this is a big game for the Jaguars to show that they are a more physical football team. A healthy Devon Hamilton on that defensive line. Mason Smith making his way back from injuries. A guy like Tyler Lacey, I really want to talk about. Tyler Lacey's on the outside looking in. Most of these projections, I don't see him on it. I don't see him making the team, okay? I think this guy still has an opportunity to help this football team. He's made some plays. I tell you which one of the better battles has been, believe it or not, is Tyler Lacey against Blake Hance. Blake Hance is your starting left guard tomorrow night. Tyler Lacey is going to get plenty of opportunities tomorrow night. These are the guys that you're going to have to look at through 60 minutes and say, okay, are they a part of this team, or are you going to cut them once the rosters do go down to 53? So it's a preseason game. It doesn't mean anything except for what I just described. I think it means something against the best team in football, the defending Super Bowl champions, to come out and show that you're tough. To come out and show that you're pissed about the way that last season ended. And again, you got beat. You got beat right in front of your girlfriend. You got beat right in front of your wife. You got beat right in front of you. You got beat. Okay? You got whipped at the line of scrimmage. And that has to change if this football team is going to be a playoff one. So that's the primary thing that I'm looking for tomorrow night. I have plenty of others that I'm going to get into as well after our first break. Also want to give you an opportunity to do the exact same thing at 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. That's always the best way for you to get on in. Twitter as well, Ballou1010XL. Again, I only check the text line when I'm on air. That's from tonight until 8. Twitter, I'm on all the time. So anything you have, you can always get me on Twitter or X, whatever it is that you prefer. All right, opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. They'll be there tomorrow night. Game 1 here in Jacksonville. Absolutely. All right, family organization. They focus on personal, high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Where are you sitting tomorrow night? I hope you can see. Right? If not, I mean, I've been telling you now for a couple of years about Shmunez Vision. And, you know, pushing things, we'll get to it. You know, we'll get to it next month. It's amazing. You're always pushing back eye care. And why would you do that? Just ask yourself that honest question right now. How are your eyes? And if they're not 100%, why wouldn't you take advantage of Shmunez Vision? Everything that you could possibly ask for or want with eye care, they have. Medical, surgical, okay? Whether it's cataract, whether it's refractive surgery, whether it's laser eye surgery to have 20/20 for the rest of your life. The nonsense of falling asleep and getting up, taking out your contacts, looking for your readers because your eyes change when you read your phone or a book, and then you look at the television set. Hey, I wish I was a candidate for laser eye surgery. I'm not. And that's because I had surgery 8.5 years ago by Dr. Neil Shmunez. That's the only setback. I'm not a candidate for laser eye surgery, but he removed it immediately the next day. They are just wonderful. I want you to look at them online. Go to Shmunez Vision, or as well, check out all of their testimonials on Instagram. You can go to Shmunez Vision as well. All right, let's have a lot of fun tonight. Friday night, going to see all you folks out at the bank tomorrow. Where else would you rather spend a Saturday night than at a Jaguars football game? It's important for a couple of reasons. I don't think the score is important. I think the tempo of the game is important. And that's only going to grow next week when they practice against Tampa on Wednesday and Thursday. Those are going to be phenomenal days at the Miller Electric Center. All right, all fired up for tonight's show, along with Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. We call this Into the Night.
Okay, stop. This is a family movie.
Sports talk and entertainment for Jacksonville. This is 1010XL. Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games, sponsored by Westin Hotels and Resort. Find wellness at Westin. The U.S. women's basketball team will play for an 8th consecutive gold medal on Sunday after routing Australia in the semifinals. That is 60 straight Olympic wins. The U.S. will face France, which beat Belgium in overtime. Gold for the U.S. women in the women's 4x100-meter relay, but a disqualification for the men in the same event because of a collision on the first handoff between Christian Coleman and Kenny Bednarik. Meanwhile, Rai Benjamin beat his rival Karsten Warholm of Norway to win the 400-meter hurdles. Olivia Reeves wins the first gold for the U.S. in weightlifting in 24 years. Other Americans to medal: freestyle wrestling, Spencer Lee takes silver at 125 pounds. Aaron Brooks, bronze at 189 pounds. With the Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed, when you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Frank Frangie here. Ready to experience used for you? You can with Car Bravo at Nimnik Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealer. Buying a certified used vehicle has never felt better. With Car Bravo, Nimnik Buick GMC can certify all makes and models: Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. With promotional rates as low as 2.9% APR, now is the time to shop certified used vehicles at Nimnik Buick GMC. Who gives you top dollar for your trade? Nobody but Nimnik. Shop online at Nimnik Buick GMC. GMC, we are professional grade.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest that you're a cabana side. Slade hot yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adulted a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And look who's back and causing a stir. Our refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations, and through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest, so everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
We will be perfect.
Training camp.
You drop a pass, you run a mile.
Nobody covers camp like 1010XL. Get daily training camp coverage brought to you by Roland Reich Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Perfection
on 1010XL.
This is David Lane. After suffering through several painful injuries to my shoulder, back, and knees, I've taken my issues to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and without fail, they've been a tremendous help towards solving my problems. If you have any orthopedic situations, don't procrastinate. Take action today. Give those aches and pains to the pros at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. You'll be glad you did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Googa Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, it's Joe C. My friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can elevate your grilling experience with a durable, high-end grill from great brands like Coyote, DCS, Alfresco, and American Made. And make an outdoor kitchen custom-built to your taste and lifestyle. Visit their local showroom and see all the new displays at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it.
CSS. CSS.
If you're an experienced, skilled plumber or welder that's MedGas certified and you're tired of working for a company that just doesn't treat you right, Local 234 is the place for you. Their pay is the best in the business. You'll walk away with $35.09 an hour in your pocket. With benefits, that's just over $50 an hour. Local 234 has been around since 1901, and that means something. Visit UA234.com to send your resume. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Just on the way, Friday night in Duval. No place I'd rather be. And the weekend includes Jaguar football tomorrow night against the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. 7 o'clock is when everything gets underway. We'll see you out there. I want to give you this tremendous opportunity right now, though. What a way to wrap up the week by taking down Thermal Engineers, Inc., because here's what's going on. They're hiring, all right? They've been doing so commercially, HVAC, for more than 20 years here in Jacksonville and North Florida. And they're hiring qualified technicians and installers. Ask yourself, how happy are you if you're in the biz? Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. I repeat, top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. For all the details, go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., or take down the number 230-1172. That's 230-1172. Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer. Man, what a way. Just jot that down. Take it with you. And have a great weekend and get on that on Monday. 9247 says, Ballou, thank God the future Mrs. Travis Kelce won't be at the game. I disagree with that. She's the biggest thing going. I mean, has she ever been to Jacksonville? I mean, she comes through Miami and Orlando and Tampa. I mean, get her here. Get her in a limo. Take her down Bay Street. Show her the jail. Show her just how great our city is. After the fact, you can go buy tailgaters, have a couple of cocktails.
Is that what you would do if you were her tour guide for a night?
Go to Wild Bill's Saloon on Talleyrand Road,
Yep.
right? Take her over there. I think you can get a canned beer there for like $2.
Take her to the west side maybe for a little bit?
Yeah. Show her downtown. I mean, why isn't Taylor Swift playing here in Duval? Why does she go to Orlando and Tampa and Miami? Why do all the heavy hitters leave and not come here? Well, show her. The shovel's going to hit the ground sooner or later, okay? I feel very confident about that. Sooner or later, there's going to be a celebration. They're going to cut the tape. Shad Khan's going to dig that first golden shovel into our earth. And flying dirt's going to go, and debris, and they're going to build it. And when they build it, they will come. And that should include Taylor Swift. So I, for one, I'm a little disappointed she's not here for it. You're younger than me. You know what's going on. Has she ever been to town? I don't think she has. She's never played here, right?
No. Tampa, Orlando, Miami. I know she goes to Tampa a lot. I don't think she's ever been here.
Man, one of these days, and it's going to take a little while, but one of these days it's going to happen, okay? There's two things I know. One day the Jaguars are going to win a Super Bowl. It's going to happen. And another thing, one day downtown is actually going to be worth going to outside of an event. people are going to be like, let's go downtown. Let's do it. You got to build it. With all apologies to Wild Bill's Saloon, I just don't think people make the pilgrimage down there to go to that fantastic dwelling on Talleyrand Road. All right. Ezra Cleveland out. Blake Hansen. Anton Harrison out. Walker Little in. Let me start off by saying this. You know what Walker Little is? He's the Jaguars' best tackle. He's been their best tackle since camp got underway. Anton Harrison's been out with a concussion. You can't trust Cam Robinson. The guy's not going to give you 17 games. He's already out with a shoulder. All right, he came back Wednesday. He worked. He's expected to go tomorrow night, which is encouraging. But honestly, where's your trust in Cam? The guy just can't stay healthy year after year after year. So Walker Little, who, in my opinion, has been treated about as poorly as any Jaguar player ever has in 30 years of this franchise's existence. They have just absolutely done this man wrong. He was the best offensive lineman last year, the first 4 games. Cam, oh my God, you got to play Cam at left tackle. I mean, well, Walker Little's no. Cam's the left tackle. Let's move Walker inside. What did he give you? 11 plays and he got hurt. So they've tried forever to make him a right tackle. He's not as good on that side. He couldn't win the job a couple of years ago when it was an open competition with Juwan Taylor. He's had very few snaps at right tackle. Remember the game when Juwan went down, Little came in, then, oh my God, Cam went down. There's a shock. So Walker Little had to go from the right tackle position to the left tackle position. We've seen him in the preseason at right tackle, but very few plays in the regular season. This guy has been he's been a left tackle his entire career. He was in high school. He was at Stanford. They've tried to make him a right tackle. It hasn't worked out. They did the same thing with Anton Harrison. We know that Anton Harrison had, 23 starts in college? 22 of them were at the left tackle position. He played right tackle last year, and he played really well. When he's 100%, he is their best lineman. But the best tackle so far through 2 weeks of training camp, because of injuries, without any question, has been Walker Little. We'll see how he performs coming up tomorrow night. I would love to be able to see this team line up tomorrow night and run the football. You know, and I get what you want, right? You don't want to see a game like last night. What was it, 21-3 or something crazy like that between Carolina and New England? I understand it's boring, and you know, you end up watching a lot of guys, particularly in the second half, that aren't going to be a part of the football team, and you want touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. A low-scoring game running the football doesn't have the appeal that going out and throwing it all across the field does. And I'm aware of that. But it would be encouraging tomorrow night, in my opinion, for this football team to be able to come out and show some consistency running the football. And again, I have no idea how many carries Travis Etienne's going to get tomorrow night. Travis Etienne's had a really good camp. Do you want him taking punishment? You know, all we've heard all offseason is that they want to take away carries. They want to take away touches for Travis Etienne. Do you want him getting hit tomorrow night? It's a fair question. All right? I don't have the answer for you there. I would set the line at maybe 3 carries for him. I don't think it's a situation where you want him getting 6, 7, 8. You know, and who knows? Maybe this offense is only out there for 2 overall possessions. I don't know. Doug is talked about it. He's been asked about it. I think Doug Peterson has always been very transparent, but things change depending on the circumstances with the game. Right? What if Jacksonville comes out on defense and Kansas City moves the ball to pick up a couple of first downs, and then all of a sudden Jacksonville forces a punt. Well, let's say it's a great punt, and you start inside your own 10-yard line. You start, it's first and 10 from the 7. And you struggle to get out of your own end, and it's a 3 and out. And, maybe the next time you pick up one first down, and then it's, let's say you pick up a first down on second down, and then you go 3 plays and out. So, you're talking about 3 plays and done, 5 plays and done. You get 8 plays, 2 series, or 8 plays, 2 possessions. Are you able to do what you want to do? So that's where these scripted plays and everything, staying true to that, I think the in-game always has the ability to change the way that you're thinking, both offensively and defensively. When I come back, I want to mention Tank a little bit. I want to get into Tank Bigsby here and a couple of other things that I'm looking for tomorrow night in this game for Jacksonville against Kansas City. Also, some pretty intriguing camp battles. Now, I will say this. The camp battles for me are to make the 53. I think the camp battles, first team, second team are set. Outside of maybe nickel corner. Because I think there's still an opportunity that Savage could be a safety depending on what happens. And Savage won't go tomorrow night, as you know, right? Ezra's not going. Anton's not going. Eric Armstead's still on the pup. And Darnell Savage is not going to play as well. So you're out 4 starters for tomorrow night's game against Kansas City. All right, much more to do. Best way for you to get on in is the text line. That's 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of new vehicles. Trax starting at $299 a month. Traverse for $399 a month. Silverados as low as $499 a month. And they all come with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected for the next 20 years. Plus, every purchase will help fund a teacher's project in our schools. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns, and here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The hottest trend in casual dining has expanded in Jacksonville with its 5th location off 103rd. The Flame Broiler serves up protein-packed rice bowls. It's fast, healthy, and affordable. Order online at flamebroilerusa.com or visit any of our 5 locations. Flame Broiler, simply healthy.
Attention sports fans, are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the major games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. Bet anywhere, win here. Only at Best Bet.
Hey gang, Hicken here for Zero Res. Man, it is hot outside this time of the year. Many of us are staying inside or going to the pool. Well, my friends at Zero Res are also heating things up. As you know, Zero Res does a great job of cleaning carpets and rugs, but they also clean luxury vinyl planking, tile and grout, fine stone and hardwood floors. And right now, the hottest price of the year, 25% off all hardwood cleaning. That's 25% off tile, LVP, fine stone, and hardwood floors. Zero Res, man, spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it back. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 9, 2012, Jamaican track star Usain Bolt wins the 200-meter at the London Olympics, becoming the first to win the 100 200-meter double in back-to-back Olympics.
For a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 24th at Daytona, answer this question. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool? Today's
Challenger, an asphalt marketer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Sheldon Fish. Today's category, air conditioner repair experts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I bet it's going to be Bueller.
Your question. Unlike Jacksonville, the Sahara Desert has a complete lack of air conditioner repair experts. What kind of camels do they ride?
That's not really a question about air conditioner repair.
5 seconds.
But that's a camel question.
Pick a camel, Sheldon.
Arabian dromedary.
That's right, Sheldon. Like the majestic Arabian dromedary, the skilled technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing can repair any make and model of air conditioner the same day you call, making sure you are cool.
They don't spit, do they?
No, but Steve, the new guy, has a bit of a hump.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, rolling lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Clearwater.
John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater irrigation and drainage too.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Now, I've kind of taken it upon myself to be out in front and ahead and in charge of the Tank Bigsby fan club. All right? I think he's going to have a bounce-back year. I think it's going to happen for the Tank, and I'm here for it. I looked everywhere today. Surfed the net. Made a call. Couldn't find any preseason numbers, projections on Tank Bigsby. So I said it myself. No, I don't write numbers, which is a great mob term. But I came up with 400 yards. I could have come up with 250 yards. I could have come up with 300, 320. I chose 400 yards rushing in 17 games. And I put it on Twitter, and I've gotten a lot of response. I would say it's probably something, and maybe I should have had you do it. You probably could have done it in a survey where we could have gotten the exact numbers. I'm not technically sound, Dylan. I don't know how to do that type of stuff. I just wrote it on Twitter. Maybe next time I'll have you do it. But I'm guessing it's probably around 65 to 70% out there believing he's going to go north of 400 rushing yards. That it's going to happen this year for him. So I think tomorrow night is the start of all that. I think this is a game for his confidence. And, I caught up with him, I think it was Saturday that I caught up with him. And I remember after an OTA this year, I came in and said, my gosh, all the talk is Tank and how he's going to get more touches and they want to lessen the load for Travis Etienne. But you can't count on Tank Bigsby to be any part of your passing offense because he's got 4 feet. He really has worked on that part of his game. He has had a real solid camp over at the Miller Electric Center when it comes to catching the football. Including last week, a ball that was, over the shoulder. Typically, he's getting swing passes out of the backfield, screen passes, not of the downfield variety. And he did with this particular reception. So if you want to comment on that with Tank Bigsby, you can. For what it's worth, Travis Etienne, his numbers, 950 and a hook. Will he put up a third consecutive 1,000-yard rushing season? I would play that over. 7.5 touchdowns. Wow. I'd leave it alone. He doubled his intake a year ago, but I do think Tank's going to get more opportunities this year. That red zone offense has to improve. 50% last year in the NFL. 21st in the NFL. You have to improve. Jacksonville has to improve on third down offense, and they have to improve on red zone offense. I mean, you just look at these numbers. 21st in red zone. 17th on third down. 38.2%. Trevor Lawrence was 17th overall ranked for quarterback rating at 88.5. You got to get better with each and every one of these numbers. Receptions, 45.5. I'd play that over. That was my biggest, outside of the Jaguars winning the AFC South, which I lost. And I still hear from you on that. My other major release a year ago was ETN. I think it was 42.5 a year ago. Went way over that. 350 yards receiving. I'd probably leave that one alone. 52-62 Blue will be lucky if the offense doesn't come out all sloppy with offside penalties, drop passes, and, of course, Tank and Trevor will fumble. Okay, if that happens, I expect you to blow a gasket. That can't happen. I don't care about the score. I really don't. As I said at the top, I think it's going to be vanilla. You're a smart football fan base. You can't expect them to come out and put together these double-digit drives and go, the length of the field and put up touchdowns. Their offense is not in. They're not going to show that against Kansas City. So obviously the defense should be ahead of the offense on both sides, and that includes Mahomes on the other side with the Ryan Nielsen defense. But that would be disappointing. And I, for one, believe that's not going to be the case. I know it's a new center-quarterback relationship, but they've had 2 weeks to work, plus the offseason with Mitch Morse and Trevor. The rest of the offensive linemen, they've been here. Now, that changed a little bit tomorrow night. Blake Kansas has been around here for a little bit. All right, you got a couple of new receivers, including a rookie. You may have one here and there, but, offside penalties, drop passes, fumbles between – if all that happens, then yeah, you absolutely have a reason to be ticked off. I just don't believe that is going to take place. Let's see, 0406 Blue. Help me understand, please. How does a fast linebacker not be able to keep up with a big tight end, the likes of Lloyd, not be able to run with Kelsey, for example? I never understood this. He's one of the best there is. It's a problem for every team in the NFL. It was when Gronk was there. It is with Kelsey. It is with these top tight ends. 2 years ago in the playoff loss, they could not stop him. In my opinion, the Achilles heel for Devin Lloyd is coverage. I think he's a seek and destroy linebacker. I think he's an attack linebacker. And hopefully now at the mic, not as much thinking and just more instinct football for him. But I don't care who you line up against Kelsey. That's a mismatch. Who do you look at right now and just say, who would you put on? Even if you could put Tyson Campbell on him. He's a mismatch. He's that good. And Evan Ingram's becoming the same deal. 114 receptions a year ago. You have a tight end who's got length and is on the same page with the quarterback. And in this case, when you talk about Kelsey, he's playing with the best player on the planet in Patrick Mahomes. Gronk played with the best player on the planet at that time with Tom Brady. That absolutely makes a difference. Wish I had an answer for you. I don't. 8852 Ballou, super excited to see Ventrell Miller gets to play tomorrow. You should be. That kid's a football player. I know it's been a long time since he's played, yada, yada. He picks up where he left off in college. The kid was a heat-seeking missile. I want to see him a defensive player of the game. Yeah, the hands in the cast, and apparently he's still going to go. There's a guy that I absolutely want to see play tomorrow night. I mean, with all the Chad Muma hype, and if they go to a base defense, I would expect Muma to be your third linebacker, right? He's going to be out there with Devin Lloyd and Foye Oluokun. And I'm not down on Chad Muma. If he can help this football team, fine. But I am a big, big fan of Ventrell Miller. He just can't stay healthy. And that is such, that is so disappointing. Yeah, there are guys like that in the league. But he is absolutely, if I was to list 5 guys that I'm intrigued to look at tomorrow night, he'd be one of the 5. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that next hour. I'll tell you right now, the guy that I'm interested to see the most of any is Christian Braswell. Darby's had a great camp. Campbell is signed. He's locked in. Jarian Jones is going to be a really good football player. Can you imagine if you have 4 corners? If you can add to that, if you can add to that Christian Braswell, a healthy Christian Braswell, and all of a sudden you feel good not only about your starters on the corner, but your nickel and your dime. And you have 4 corners that you're very encouraged about. Let's come back, do that in the second hour. Also have a little something that it's a Friday, it's a little bit of a Friday surprise. You may have missed this. It was ESPN Plus, and I know not everyone subscribes to that, but it brought up something on the Jaguars season. And the folks at ESPN think they're going to fail on this. I disagree. I think they're going to go over on this. It's season wins. But I think you'll be interested in what they say. I want to begin the hour with that and grab your input on it as well. Once again, the best way for you to join us is on our text line. That number is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
They know the teams, they know the players, they know the game.
I think the 3 of us made a really good team. I see all kinds of possibilities here.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Helmets and heels.
Weekdays noon to 2 on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed. In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and Twitter to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Are you ready for the ultimate college football season? Using MyBookie's sportsbook and casino platform, you can bet on every game and win anytime, anywhere, straight from your mobile device. No app needed. Just sign up at MyBookie.com and you're ready to rock. No matter who you're rooting for, there's no better way to experience the season than having action on the games. When you know your team well, it's an easy way to take advantage of props like team win totals or early picks for playoff contention. Last year, MyBookie had some of the best odds on the market for the Wolverines to win the championship, and Michigan bettors who backed their squad saw a 10% return on their wager. These type of bets highlight why it's worth it to lay an investment before the season begins. Lock your futures in now while you're waiting for the season to begin and use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus up to $1,000 on that first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to start the season with house money. Don't ever miss out on the action. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Only with MyBookie.
Lauren Brooks here. If you're in pain and you think you've tried everything, I've got a solution for you. The team at Active Health Jacks treats the source of the problem, not just the pain, so you can avoid surgery, cortisone injections, and pain medications. I've had neck aches for years, and I've tried everything from acupunctures to massages with no results. Within minutes of my evaluation and treatment, the tension was gone. It was amazing. Active Health Jacks can help you too. Give them a call at 904-296-0202 today or visit them online at activehealthjacks.com.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332. Go to flyskylife.com and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Hon, what do you say we go to the supermarket today?
Again? Weren't we just there yesterday?
Well, yeah, but it's just so nice and cool in there.
Why don't we just get our air conditioning fixed?
Can we afford it?
We can with Duck Air Conditioning. They offer financing.
Oh, cool.
Yes, it will be.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. Repairs to new installations. Trust the Duck to keep your cooling costs low. DuckDuckAC.com.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Staying active no matter what your age is key to living life at its fullest. And Rebound Rehabilitation wants you to know they can get you back up to speed and back in the game pain-free. Rebound Rehabilitation with 8 locations across the First Coast, top-of-the-line therapists ready to assist you. From neck and back pain, knee or foot pain, they can help. Excellent patient care combined with the highest quality in rehabilitation services. Look for a Rebound Rehab location near you and get back in the game. Log on, reboundrehab.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Is this Looks to Kill?
Cinderella, Somebody Save Me.
All right. Had a little bit of the Looks to Kill type of... I'm all about 80s hair bands now. I wasn't at the time, but I am now. I mean, get Cinderella to roll through town if any of those dudes are still alive. Speaking of leaving us, Chichi Rodriguez passed last night, the age of 88. Dehumanizing members on the PGA Tour. They're robotic. Can you imagine if Chichi Rodriguez, in his heyday, there was social media? This guy was electrifying on the golf course. From Puerto Rico. Only won 8 times on the PGA Tour, including the heralded Tallahassee Open back in 1979. But he won 22 times on the Tour Champions, tour, which is tied for 7th all time. And I was actually really surprised. I looked it up earlier today. His best finish ever at a major was tied for 6th at the United States Open. He was tied for 10th twice at the Masters in 1970 and 1973. His U.S. Open was in 1981. Tied for 15th at the PGA Championship in 1969, and the British Open tied for 28th in 1973. But he was very personal, did a ton for charity. You know, he used to he'd make those putts and with the sword, and I guess his explanation of it is the ball was the bull and he was the matador with the sword, and it was pretty cool in the day. So what a life, though. 88 years of age. He did pass yesterday. That is Chichi Rodriguez. All right, we got some preseason football coming up tonight, including Pittsburgh hosting Houston. We'll keep you updated on all of that. Tomorrow night at this exact time, we will have Jaguars football. Pre-game, in-game, post-game. Right here. 1010 on the AM, 92.5 on the FM. Look forward to seeing you out there. Let me read this to you. There's one sentence in here that is very alarming, and I want to share it with you, okay? ESPN Plus did some best bets, and they did it for all 32 teams. And I say it all the time, I haven't bet in 10 and a half years. Last year, I released 2. I released the Jags to win the AFC South. They were 8-3. I thought I made all you folks money. Then all of a sudden, they lost 5 of 6. So that would have been a big loser. My other was receptions on the year for Travis Etienne. That went over. So 1-1, lost 1. You played the VIG. You end up being a loser. ESPN, 8.5 wins for Jacksonville. I've already said I think they go 10-7. I'm going to do my picks again right before the start of the year. Right now, and the reason why you do that is injury related, not only for Jacksonville, but for every team. And of course, what is really telling is when you make the picks, the Friday before the games, because that's when everything changes when you're in season. These preseason stuff, it's basically just fodder, but just about everyone does it. So right now I think they're 10-7. So I would play the over 8.5. And I've said for quite some time that if you believe that they're going over, you should have already played it, or you better get in now, because I don't think this number is going to drop to 8. I think it's going to rise to 9. Now, I could be dead wrong. It could stay at 8 and a hook. But I think if it moves either way, it's going to go to 9, and that's a huge difference. May not seem like it unless you play, but trust me, it is. That half game is significant. Well, let's go to ESPN, and this is what they had to say. And this one sentence, I think, will boil some blood, but I want to share it with you nonetheless. This is what they said. This is tough because I am a believer in Trevor Lawrence as a franchise quarterback, but I'm taking the under at 8.5. With the slightest lean for 2024. Lawrence feels like a modern-day Matthew Stafford, a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, taken number 1 overall by a franchise incapable of maximizing his talents. That is a scolding review. Okay? That is a scud. Kind of hidden on ESPN Plus. You read that again. Lawrence feels like a modern-day Matthew Stafford, a Super Bowl caliber quarterback taken number 1 overall by a franchise incapable of maximizing his talents. Wow. Because of Lawrence, I don't think this team will bottom out with just 4 to 5 wins, but since I like the Colts so much and I have to respect what the Texans look like on paper as division favorites, it's hard to get the Jaguars to 9+ wins. I don't love it, but I think they're the 3rd best team in the division. That is really intriguing to me because we bring on all these analysts. We talk about it again, this and that, who's calling plays. I have said forever, I think they're much better off with Doug Peterson calling plays than Press Taylor. I have never had anyone say to me, locally, nationally, on the practice field, in the press box, in a bar room, anywhere, the Jaguars are incapable of maximizing the talents of Trevor Lawrence. I mean, whether you agree or disagree, it's fresh. It's new. I haven't heard anyone describe it that way. And I've been sitting on this for like a week. It's been so busy around here. I haven't had an opportunity to get it. Again, it's just one opinion. But it's one where you're like, whoa. Did you just hear that? So I'm thinking about it. And, you know, indirectly, I've ripped this offensive line. Trevor Lawrence had 5 injuries a year ago. They can't run the football, and they walked it back. He's got skill guys. I mean, this football team's loaded with skill guys. You got one of the best tight ends in football. When healthy, Christian Kirk, he's never going to rank as a true number 1. He's never going to be up there with the top 20 number 1 wide receivers in the league. But you learn that when he went out, Calvin Ridley couldn't carry the load. You saw just how bad Jacksonville was when Kirk got injured. Kirk is their best wide receiver. You lose Zay, you lose Calvin, you lose Jamal Agnew. Okay, here comes fresh guys. Brian Thomas Jr. Off to a slow start. He showed his athleticism as of late. Even a simple screen pass took it all the way. The deep ball on what? Wednesday. Or was it Thursday? I don't remember. We camp, everything runs together. But all of a sudden, some deep balls, contested balls, going up with Ronald Darby, showing strong hands. His ups. You know, can't begin for him. Could say his first play, it can't be dropped a touchdown pass. Very next day, he dropped one. He's improved since. Gabe Davis, big target, physical, slow, coming off the injury, getting better. There's a guy who wouldn't play a lot tomorrow night, Gabe Davis. Just no need to at this point. Got to get him 100%. Never caught more than 48 balls in a year. Then you got this rushing attack, which I'm bragging about. I have Tank Bigsby, a bounce back here. You know what you're getting out of Travis Etienne. So you've got weapons. Jacksonville has weapons. Duvernay, Parker Washington, they can help. You know, Brenton Strange, I know. You're like, what? Ballou to say Brenton Strange? Well, they have weapons. If you can run the ball, everything changes. If this offensive line really is what they believe it is. Bulky believes. Peterson believes. Phil Rauscher believes. They believe a healthy Cam, Ezra, Mitch, Brandon Sheriff, and Anton Harris, they believe that if they are healthy, they're improved. Well, you're 2 weeks in and 3 of the 5 are hurt. 2 aren't playing tomorrow night. I hate it. Last year, Anton was hurt. Last year, Sheriff was hurt. Last year, Cam was hurt. Ezra came over, hurt. I don't know how you keep them healthy, but when your offensive line is beaten up, man, it changes the entire complexion of your football team. This guy is making it seem like it's all Trevor, that he is the man, but it's the team that is holding him back, right? What was that old expression that the only guy who could keep Michael Jordan under 20 points was Dean Smith? Even though Michael made that J to win it as a true freshman at UNC. Do you really believe that? That's what I'm getting at. Because I've never heard it explained this way. What do you think?
I think it's more of a quote that he's saying more of the organization historically, not so much if you look at just the last 2 years since Balky's got Peterson. Because if you look at just structurally the last 2 years, take away the Urban year, I mean, it's not like they haven't spent money on free agency. They got Anton, a pretty good draft pick. Now, the rest of the draft class probably wasn't that good last year, but it's not like this is a cheap organization and they're not, trying to help Trevor at all. Like, they've done their part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just didn't work out last year.
No. My only two disagree. I think it's been a phenomenal offseason. Okay? The most important thing, you're going to have Jaguar football here forever. Okay? The off-the-field move was the biggest, and we know you got to get the 24 of the 32 votes coming up in October. That's going to happen. That was the most important thing. Jaguar football staying. You signed Trevor, you signed Josh Hines Allen, you signed Tyson Campbell, right? You brought in free agents, guys that can help, albeit old. Mitch Morris, longer in the tooth. Eric Armstead, longer in the tooth. Darnell Savage, longer in the tooth. Gabe Davis only been around 4 years. Not a bad sign in there. Devin Duvernay, I thought, was misused last year in Baltimore. I thought as though I covered that team week to week, but he just fell out of their offensive game plan. I like what they've done. There's two glaring mistakes, however. Number one, there's no depth at edge. And Trent Baalke's made the same mistake in consecutive seasons. There were opportunities in guys. And again, maybe Travis Gibson is all that. I hope so. Is he the third edge? Yasir Abdul has been working as a backer. Are they going to get something out of, DJ Coleman, who actually looks good in practice? Rasheem Green. I mean, these are your guys who are going to be your fourth, your fifth pass rush edge. You're going to keep four. Who is number four? That's a big watch tomorrow night. And the other side that I totally disagree with is walking back this offensive line. But I also understand that they know a hell of a lot more than I do because they're around them night and day. They love Cam. They love him. I don't dislike him. I just don't trust him. He got popped for 4 games. And he can't stay healthy. He's making $19 million more a season than Walker Little. You're trying to tell me there's that big of a difference between Cam and Walker Little? Maybe there is, in your opinion. A $19 million difference? Ezra Cleveland showed nothing when he got here last year. Nothing. Phil Rauscher worked them in Minnesota. They brought him back. You hope he's good to go. Well, those two of them, they're already injured. Cam's got a shoulder. Apparently he goes. Ezra's out with a heel. Mitch Morse. Guy's been a warrior. Guy worked with Doug Peterson in Kansas City. He was drafted out of Missouri by Kansas City, by Andy Reid. Doug Peterson was the offensive coordinator before he got the head coaching job in Philadelphia. He knows all about Mitch Morse. Luke Fortner really disappointed a year ago. So there's your big change. Brandon Sheriff is such a tough guy. He was hurt. How many times did you see when the play was over, it would take Brandon Sheriff an extra 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds to get off the ground because he was beaten up? And he's never been considered a big power guard. He's been a finesse guard, a quick guard, a savvy guard. Hasn't lived up to his contract. Jacksonville paid him. He hasn't lived up to it. I mean, those are facts. Anton Harrison was a star. Absolute star. Left tackle, they put in the right side. You look at some of the guys, including Chris Jones, that he lined up against last year. What a star. And he was hurt in camp. And I don't know this, but I'm under the belief that he played last year at not 100%. And he's out for tomorrow with the concussion. So, is that what he means when he says incapable of, let me find the sentence again. Lawrence feels like the modern-day Matthew Stafford, a Super Bowl caliber quarterback taken #1 overall by a franchise incapable of maximizing his talents. That is a frightening comment. It really is. And I hope he's wrong. I know you hope he's wrong. But I'm looking at the text line. It's blowing up. And no one's arguing with that point. No one's saying that, this is so-and-so. No one's arguing with that sentence. Let's come back, talk more about that. Give me your opinion. And by the way, my whole approach on this was not to just pick out that sentence, but it was to disagree and say that Jacksonville's going over 8.5 wins. I have them winning 10 games. I don't think they win the division, but I think they get in as a wild card. I think they get in 10-7. What do you think? 641-1010. That is how you join the program. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. All right, hold on. No score. Just underway in Miami. Dolphins-Falcons. My goodness. Texans, Steelers, no score, first quarter in Pittsburgh. Coming up in 20 minutes, the Baltimore Ravens will play host to the Philadelphia Eagles. So you have 3 games on tap right here on this Friday night. Of course, the Jaguars play at home. That'll be tomorrow night at 7. All of the pregame, in-game, and post-game right here on 1010 and 92.5 FM.
Every game is a story.
And the game is tied.
Every play is a moment waiting to happen.
We're going to overtime.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL. Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by
USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Team USA's first weightlifting gold medal in 24 years comes courtesy of 21-year-old Olivia Reeves.
I kind of knew I was going to cry. Feeling the weight of this competition is different than the others. Even though it's the same, you get your 3 attempts, your 6 minutes, it's the same, but it feels different in there. There's just the environment. So I kind of knew there were going to be tears, good or bad. I kind of knew when I got here.
Other gold medals for the U.S., Rye Benjamin in the 400-meter hurdles and the women's 4x100-meter relay team. That's 33 gold in Paris, tied with China for the most. Meanwhile, no medal at all for the U.S. men in the 4x100 relay. For the 5th straight Olympics, they botched the first handoff and were disqualified. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
What's wrong?
My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation.
Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card?
Uh-huh.
Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase.
Really?
Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to shinatridc.com.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And when you join My Lowe's Rewards for free, the savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers, plus earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards, just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it. Literally. Learn more about our loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards and become a member for free today. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
It's the end of summer sale with Renewal by Andersen, energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Save $300 on every window and $825 on all patio doors. Plus, zero down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But restrictions apply, and this offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 9, 2012, Jamaican track star Usain Bolt wins the 200-meter at the London Olympics, becoming the first to win the 100-200-meter double in back-to-back Olympics.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Do it with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Looking for a new or used firearm? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach will get you locked and loaded. New firearms coming in weekly and always looking for used guns. No lines and no waiting. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, an asphalt marketer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Sheldon Fish. Today's category, air conditioner repair experts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I bet it's going to be Bueller.
Your question. Unlike Jacksonville, the Sahara Desert has a complete lack of air conditioner repair experts. What kind of camels do they ride?
That's not really a question about air conditioner repair.
5 seconds.
But that's a camel question.
Pick a camel, Sheldon.
The Arabian dromedary.
That's right, Sheldon. Like the majestic Arabian dromedary, the skilled technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing can repair any make and model of air conditioner the same day you call, making sure you are cool.
They don't spit, do they?
No, but Steve, the new guy, has a bit of a hump.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Visionaries, builders, and doers. Are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Anytime I need to send flowers for any reason to anybody, there's no choice for me but Kuhn Flowers. This is 1010XL's Frank Franzi, and I've used Kuhn Flowers dozens of times over the years. Make Kuhn Flowers your choice for when you need to send a floral arrangement.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
No place I'd rather be than right here on Hogan Road with you tonight till 8 o'clock. Then it's Hacker Nation. Of course, the Blue Crab Crab House will be pretty phenomenal as well. They're open tonight till 9 o'clock. Remember, on Sunday, beginning at noon, $2.50 Bloody Marys, $2.50 mimosas. All right, open till 9 every night except for Monday when they do rest. Right off of San Jose, Jillington Creek Road. Best oysters in town, obviously the best crabs you will find anywhere along the First Coast. Okay. I'll give you a couple of guys that I think tomorrow night's game is really important for. I'm going to begin with the defense because I envision the criticism coming in offensively. And again, I think some of that is agenda given. And I just don't expect the offense to be anything extra special tomorrow night because they're not going to scheme. They're not going to show a lot. And I don't want them running ETN, right? I don't need to see Christian Kirk catch a pass tomorrow night. I don't need to see Evan Ingram catch a pass tomorrow night. You understand where I'm going with this? I would just assume the trust in those guys are there. We'll see how much they play. Tyler Lacey is really intriguing to me. He was a fourth-round pick a year ago. It was a lost season for him. He has really shined at times in camp. He appears to be out in a numbers game when you look at interior defensive linemen. I just think his best football is ahead of him, and he has shined at times. And, you know, you go to 53, and then you have 16 practice squad players. You know, the way that it works, 10 of those 16 are either rookies or second-year players. The other 6 can be veterans, and, you know, their time accrued in the NFL has no bearing. But I don't want to risk putting him out there with the ability that he could end up going to another team. I think it's an important night for him. I think it's a real important night for DJ Coleman. The body looks like he should be a player in this league. And there are times he has flashed. One day this week he had a very good practice. I can't remember which day that was. But it was a very good practice for DJ Coleman. There is room for an edge. Okay, you know who your top 2 is, and Travis Gibson's 3. I don't know who the 4th edge is. Is it Coleman? Is it Rasheem Green? Is it the late draft pick, Miles Cole? They even brought in a guy, yesterday from the UFL, the reigning UFL Defensive Player of the Year was added yesterday to the Jaguars. I don't know what I did with the release or his name, but let me find out. That actually came in yesterday. I know you're dying to hear that at home. Let's see. That was Breeland Speaks. 9.5 sacks with the Michigan Panthers this past year in the UFL. Christian Braswell, to me, is enormous in this game. He could be a starter at nickel. I don't know. Savage is out. You have Darby on one side. You have Tyson Campbell on the other. Antonio Johnson played 176 snaps a year ago. Most of those are at nickel. He's reportedly a safety. I would expect him to be your starter tomorrow night next to Andre Cisco. The depth chart's all messed up. The depth chart has him as a second-string strong safety, Antonio Johnson. It has Christian Braswell in as your starting nickel. They only list one nickel here. We know that Jarian Jones is absolutely going to battle for that nickel spot. I think eventually Jarian Jones replaces Ronald Darby and ends up being on the other side of Tyson Campbell. That is what I would forecast, but Christian Braswell is really a big part of this. He's had an interesting camp. There's lack of depth at safety, right? You got Johnson and you got Cisco. I still think when it's all said and done and when he's healthy, Darnell Savage is a safety, and he's in the rotation there. I just do. And only time will tell. I could be dead wrong. And maybe they're interchangeable. I know with a guy like Eric Hallett, this is a big game for him. Right now, I don't think he's on this team. Wouldn't be surprised if you see him doing a little bit of cross-training, safety, and maybe some nickel, kind of like what Antonio Johnson did a night ago. But Dewey Wingard is out with the knee. He's an important special teamer. He's also a guy you want in there against the run. If it's the pass, no, you want him out. And that applies to Daniel Thomas. They're your two backup safeties. Daniel Thomas is a gunner. He's a four-core special teams guy. So the point I'm getting at, there's absolutely an opportunity here for a safety to win a job, whether it's Eric Hallett, whether it's Josh Proctor, an undrafted free agent. They brought in a veteran this week, and Adrian Amos, who's learning the scheme. I think he's 31, right? Played with Darnell Savage, so he's a grizzled vet. I don't know how much he'll show tomorrow night. The other guy is DeAndre Prince in the secondary, where there have been times where he's looked really good. There have been other times where he has been inconsistent. I've said this a couple of times, and I'm going to repeat myself again. It felt like he had a nose for the ball, particularly against the run when pads weren't on. I haven't really seen too much physically from him since the pads went on. So a big-time opportunity for him tomorrow night to show what he is all about. The other guy is Ventrell Miller, and I just don't know how much they'll play him with the cast, right? But I think that's a guy that really helps this football team. If you can just keep him healthy. And sure, I understand that for the most part, they're only going to be having two linebackers, right? When you go to a base, a 4-3, but come on. Primarily, they're going to be in nickel coverage, and they're only going to have two backers. And your backer is going to be Devin Lloyd, and your backer is going to be Foye Oluokun. But I still think Ventrell Miller tomorrow night is going to be an interesting one for him. Tomorrow night's a big night for Tim Jones. He gets lost in all of this. Every year, it's Elijah Cooks. Now it's Joshua Cephas. It's Seth Williams. It's always another wide receiver. But Tim Jones is your other gunner. Tim Jones, go back and look. He played in 17 games last year. He's a special teams guy. Now, one of the guys that I mentioned, or someone else, can you do a 2-for-1? Can you make the team and help them position-wise, but also be a very important part on special teams? And special teams are changing. Half the game is going to be different than it used to be. You'd kick off, and even though 70-something% of kickoffs are a touchback, still your gunners are Thomas and Jones. On punt, your gunners, Daniel Thomas, Tim Jones. Now with this new rule, 5 yards apart, do you really need gunners? No. I think what you need, and I don't know for sure, but I think you need guys who can actually drop back and become safeties. So, you you're kind of taking half that away. And can these players do the same thing? Or do you take your 2 fastest guys on the football field and say, stay back? You're basically in a cover 2, taking half the field. Drop 2 safeties. I don't even know if Cam Little's going to kick off. I would think he would tomorrow night. But once you get into the regular season. Unfortunately, the kicker's going to be much more involved now. You would think there's a chance for the kicker to be that much more involved in tackles than the way it's always been. But you don't want Cam Little out there tackling. You don't want I don't think anyone wants the kicker out there tackling. So that's going to be and there'll be a delay there. I don't think you'll get much on that tomorrow night. I haven't had a chance to watch. You've been watching this Pittsburgh-Houston game. Did you happen to notice, Dylan, the kickoff? Was it anything special? I know you're producing a program.
No, it was the same as it was a Hall of Fame game. It was, 2-3 step drop for the return guys, and they just block right in front of them.
Yep. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy in the preseason. But I think there's a chance that it's going to happen once we get into the regular season. It's going to be interesting. I don't think there's any doubt about that. All right, we got much more to do. Take it till 8 o'clock. Getting a ton of reaction. That's in on the text line. That number is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
There are moments in every life when we're faced with a choice that could change everything.
He's going for it. Great, glorious day.
Choose 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
David Ammon here with Zero Res. So Ammon, your mom mentioned it's been a year since we did a complete house cleaning. The kitchen tile and living room floors are looking pretty dingy. It's time to call Zero Res.
That's right. Most folks know that Zero Res does an amazing job at cleaning their carpets and rugs, but they don't know that Zero Res can clean their tile and grout, LVP, and wood floors.
And right now, Zero Res is offering 25% off all hard floor cleaning. Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
C-E-R-O, Zero Res.
This patriotic chant mirrors the enthusiastic efforts our American athletes have dedicated to their quest for a gold medal at this summer's Olympics in Paris. USAPark.net Airport Parking is your safe and secure parking for when you fly out of JIA. No matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
Thermal Engineers is hiring. Thermal Engineers is a commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers. How does top pay, 401k, and full benefits sound, and a signing bonus? Is it time for a positive change in your career? Join the family-oriented commercial HVAC contractor at Thermal Engineers. Call 230-1172 or go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer.
The saying goes, the grass is greener on the other side. Well, that is actually true if your neighbor installed artificial turf. Lauren Brooks here from my friends at Sunshine Turf, a family-owned local company that will take your backyard dreams and turn them into a reality. Caleb can design anything from putting greens to pet runs, and if you have a pool, you'll definitely love maintenance-free turf around it. Visit sunshineturf.info to get a free quote today from Sunshine Turf. That's sunshineturf.info.
Like to learn how to fly an airplane? Well, you're not alone. High Flying Jacko here, inviting you to listen Sunday morning. We'll start your aviation career with a 60-minute ride on the airwaves of 1010XL. The High Flying Show, Sunday at 9 on 1010XL.
Don't bring those old, beat-up cornhole boards to the party again. Mystic Cornhole can upgrade your tailgate experience with a customized set of professional quality boards built in Jacks. Visit their Instagram page or mysticcornholecompany.com.
I-9 Sports wants to make sure kids all over the First Coast can enjoy growing up on a field or in a gym. And right now, fall and winter registration is open. Find out what I-9 Sports offers across Duval, Clay, and St. John's. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hayes. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major. Year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Ballou here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Houston up 7-0 over Pittsburgh. Just underway in quarter number 2. 3 games tonight. Everyone else plays this week, and I think every game is Saturday. I don't know if anything's on Sunday, right?
Colts play Sunday.
Oh, there's 2 games on Sunday. Denver at Indy and Dallas and Los Angeles.
Yeah, the Colts, Steichen said, expects most of the stars to play on Sunday.
Jacksonville plays in consecutive Saturdays here, then in Atlanta the Friday after. And they'll rest for 2 weeks and get ready for opening day. In Miami. Miami playing right now just about through quarter number 1. 2 are not playing. It's Skylar Thompson. Michael Penix playing for Atlanta. So there isn't the perfect blueprint on preseason. You know, there was with the 4 games, and even though we've had 3 games now for this is the 3rd year, it's still a little clunky as far as when do you play your starters, when do you not play your starters. And I'm just looking at quarterbacks here. I have no idea about the rest of the depth charts. They're 12 and 12. You know, they always put the 3rd wide receiver in there or a 2nd tight end or, They'll put the nickel in along with the base defense. Back to back. This is awesome. You understand that this is what keeps me going on the text line. Just a ton of response. 641-1010, but the 6711 is telling me I'm way too negative. I need to relax. That it's the preseason. And then I got one here that tells me that the Jaguars are paying me enough money to say that Devin Lloyd playing middle linebacker is going to be a good idea. I honestly love this. I do, because in 32 and a half years, it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what you hear. Of course, I'm negative. I'm also positive. And I sit here and bragged about the corners. Fordham, I bragged about Tank Bigsby. Bragged about the interior defense. You don't want to hear that, right? I'm down on the offensive line. Okay, I went over this quote about the 8.5 bet. I went against it. I have them winning 10 games. I shared the quote, but I'm not apologizing. I'm just saying it doesn't matter what any of us say. It matters what you hear. And you understand that this is so gratifying to me. To have one guy say, stop it, you're too negative, then another guy saying, you're on the payroll. You're forced to say good things. Those who have been listening to me for a long time know that that's absolute. I mean, no one has ever told, I will say this, no one has ever told me that I can't say this about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Never. Outside of betting. On the Jaguars radio network. Okay? Outside of betting. Which is a radio rule. It actually cost Bernie Kosar his job. He was their caller analyst, and he did something else where he bet, I think it was $17,000 with a betting company, Cleveland against Pittsburgh, and they went back and they fired him for it because the NFL is so hypocritical. You have betting, in-game betting, all this, but the radio network, you're not allowed to mention it. I remember a few years ago, I filed a report and said something like Jacksonville's actually favored. It was like, man, you can't say that. I'm like, what? You can say it here on the radio show, but on the radio network, you cannot mention anything gambling related. Believe that or not. So anyway, I'm not trying to change the way that you perceive things. I'm just merely saying thank you for these texts, because that's a badge of honor to get two totally different opinions about what I say back to back.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Tomorrow night, it's time to see what this football team is all about. We know 4 starters are out. Ezra Cleveland will not go at left guard. Look for Blake Hance. Anton Harrison will not play as a right tackle. Walker Little has had arguably the best camp so far as a tackle since Anton has been out and Cam Robinson has missed some time. Cam expected to be back at left tackle. Defensively, we do know that Darnell Savage is not going to go, and Eric Armstead still on that PUP list. For those of you wondering, the way that the PUP list does work, he's got to be taken off that and put on the 53-man roster on cut day, which I want to say is August 27th. If not, and he remains on the PUP list, he would miss a minimum of 4 games. So that's really the only deciding factor that Jacksonville has to make. The injured reserve rules are the same as it was a year ago. Jacksonville's put, 3 players on the IR in the last week. I would expect that those guys are not going to be called back at any point. But, obviously in season, you have the ability to bring back injured reserve players as well. That's the one thing COVID did do. It provided more depth. It changed the rules with injured reserve. Remember, it used to be you're on IR, whether it's now or in season, you're gone. You're gone for the remainder of the season. And it expanded the practice squad. Again, you have 16. And the quarterback change this year. Practice squad quarterbacks can be a third quarterback. The only issue is number one and number two have to either have been told that they are out or have been ejected. So you're going to get that third quarterback, even if it is C.J. Beathard, who will be number 2 tomorrow night, not Mac Jones. If he's on the practice squad, he can still be called up and play in game, unlike what we saw during the 2023 season.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
Who's that waving at me back there, crying out loud?
Little Hack's making a cameo tonight, and I took him to meet the teacher at kindergarten today. That was kind of a emotional moment. I'm sure you remember those days.
Man, I'd love to have him back. As I always said, I don't care if I get older. I just wish my girls didn't get older. And the last time I looked, they're 22 and 18.
Whew. Yeah, that's why I remember when they were Little Hack's age.
I know.
And, but he's fired up for kindergarten. So he's here tonight. He's going to hang out. And obviously we got a lot of things to discuss when it comes to the game in 24 hours.
What are you looking for tomorrow night?
Young guys. I mean, I want to see. It's unfortunate that a couple of the rookies won't play, Keelan Robinson and Jordan Jefferson, but clearly Brian Thomas, Mason Smith, the 2 corners, Jarian Jones, DeAndre Prince, and 2 of the young receivers battling for spots. You and I have been out there almost every day together. Elijah Cooks, Joshua Cephas. I think there's a real battle between those 2 in particular, maybe for that wide receiver 6 spot.
Tim Jones is a guy who never gets talked about. He's a gunner. He had 17 games played a year ago. He's always passed over. I wonder how much that changes with the new kick rule. He'll still be, if he makes the team, the gunner on punt, and I understand that only about 30% of kicks were returned, but he was still the gunner.
It's a fair point. You know, we didn't talk a lot about Tim Jones in 2022. He made the team. We didn't talk a lot about him last year, and he made the team. So can he go 3 for 3? It's going to be interesting. And I think, look, the fact that Andy Reid is playing his starters for a quarter is what he said out in Kansas City. What a great barometer for the Jaguars to kind of know where you're at in the middle of August. The back-to-back defending Super Bowl champions. You're going to see Mahomes and Kelsey and crew for maybe a series or 2 tomorrow. That'll be a great test for Ryan Nielsen and that defense.
All right, what else is coming up tonight?
We're going to go out to Kansas City. My guy out there, Sports Radio 810, Seren Petro, is going to give us the Chiefs side of this matchup. Also, Derwin Gray, a 4-year NFL offensive lineman. Interesting story. The Jaguars just signed the UFL Defensive Player of the Year yesterday, Breeland Speaks. Derwin Gray played him 3 times in the last 16 months. So I'm going to kind of get the information on the Jaguars' newest defensive end from a guy that competed against him in the UFL.
Sounds good. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, there he goes. That's Hacker Nation right here coming up on 1010XL in 92.5 FM. Folks, get there early tomorrow night. Again, if you want to see the starters, it's going to be right at 7. Again, I don't know how long they're officially going to play. I think the in-game can always change the script. At least that has been my belief forever. But it should be a lot of fun to get out there and see some football. Jacksonville and Kansas City. That's going to do it. Thank you to all who contributed to the program. I don't check the text line now if the show is over. You can always get me on Twitter or X, Ballou1010XL. Thank you to Dylan Denmark for producing. My name is Rick Ballou. I'll see you tomorrow at the bank, 7 o'clock for Jaguars football.